I'll be talking about um, the field of the goddess mind. And what that means to me was when I first went to Hawaii about, I would say, right after my master's, 5, 6, 7, maybe 8 years ago. I went to Hawaii 2 times. Um, I had this dream, and then before I went to Hawaii, in this dream, I was walking uh, down through the stairs right into the center of the earth. And as I went into the center of the earth, I saw this very conscious, alive. It looked like a ball, but it was like consciousness. It felt like a brain or a heart. And when I went into the space, it was speaking to me, and it was the mind and the consciousness of the goddess, or Mother Earth. And she was sharing some wisdom about healing, but the real takeaway from that experience and from that dream, as I was kind of walking back up the stairs to come back onto the earth, she said, you can still hear me if you're quiet enough. What you just experienced as you came down into the center of the earth, you're going to be able to hear me from above the earth. And you got to like a tuning in. It was like a tuning in process to get you to hear the wisdom of Mother Earth. So then I went to my trip to Hawaii probably just a few days after, and I really took that experience with me, and I was really trying to practice that while I was in Hawaii, because the earth, like, it's so powerful in Hawaii, and there's so much nature that you do feel, just like you feel more of that presence. And what ended up happening as I was there in Hawaii was that I started to enter the state of consciousness where I stopped thinking so much. I stopped doing so much. And I was able to access such a deep state of surrender that, like, every moment, it was like this instinct in my body, this sort of compass that I discovered was in my body, my being, that knew where I had to go. But this compass was connected to the field and the mind of the goddess presence. And so, last night when I was just meditating, I had this visual of, like, and the visual was like, share this with your participants. I'm like, okay. And the visual was like, I want you to all see that the whole earth is aware and conscious. It's the consciousness and the awareness of the goddess energy, and it's permeating everywhere. It's in all places. And in the yogic scriptures, because I study the scriptures and the yogic teachings, there's a mantra that says, very ancient Sanskrit, Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Shakti Rupani Samstita Namastasye 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 Namo Namaha. And what that mantra means is that I bow to the supreme goddess, Shakti Rupini, which is Shakti is the supreme power that embodies the goddess that resides in all places at once. It's everywhere. And if you're studying a bit of like quantum physics, I'm also a nerd. I like to study a bit of that. So that was quite remarkable to really just access that understanding and that wisdom. So 3 principles I want to share here about accessing the goddess mind, and then I want to take you into a guided meditation. So we're going to get right to the point here. The first principle to understand about how to access that state of consciousness. Now, I want to say that when I came back from Hawaii, I kind of went back into a bit of a rat race. So I had to like practice how to get back to it. And then when I went to Hawaii last year for 1 year, it was still a practice. I was in training. Now, I have moments where I'm really in it, moments where I'm not. I'm still learning. We're all learning here. Just want to, share that with you. I've had my struggles, but this is what I've learned so far about accessing the field of the goddess mind. When we access the field of the goddess mind, what we start to remember is that we're not meant to do all of this alone. And this is true for the masculine, but I want to be speaking to the feminine today, because the wisdom sharing and the retreat and the process is for the women out there, but the men can also be on this call on the Instagram. So when we enter the field of the goddess mind, we start to remember that we don't have to use so much of our yang energy to get things done. We can start to work with a place of surrender, ease, and listening instead of being overusing our mind. As we start to enter that state, we also start to learn that there is a force that can be working with us that is part of who we are, but it's greater than our ego mind. And when I've been working with clients and myself and going into the process of working and connecting to that goddess energy, what people often share with me is that when they get to that place where they can like really feel that connection with her, all of a sudden they start to feel like I can be lighter, I can be joyful, I can go towards my passion and things in my life that bring me lightness and joy, because I realize that the thing that brings me lightness and joy and empowerment is the vibration that is needed on the planet, is the medicine that is required, and is the thing that the goddess within me, within all of creation, wants for us. The space of abundance mindset, the abundance mode. So we start to live life in a way where we have more faith in stepping into that frequency and state of being. And we start to feel that we can drop in and listen to the subtle intuition and hunches of where to go and what to do. And we also start to open up these intuitive faculties to feel, hear, and receive this powerful force of the goddess, right? So that's a bit of what I wanted to share just about what the goddess mind is, how to connect to that. So now I'm going to take you all into a bit of a guided meditation for about 15, 20 minutes or so, end off with a bit of an overview of the upcoming Art Goddess Retreat. Okay, so everybody is ready to get into a comfortable place to access the field of the goddess mind in this next 20 minutes. I'm going to start off with my instruments and my drum. Okay. Close your eyes. We're all being now invited to, like a pebble dropping into the lake, please start to bring your awareness down through the center of your body and into your heart center. Take 3 deep conscious breaths into your heart, and every breath you take, you start to visualize that this breath is beginning to open up the petals of a flower that's resting in your heart. As we have all now linked up into the space of our heart, we are now creating a collective field. Heart frequency. This heart frequencies, we start to sense and feel this nectar of the love energy. And as I say these words, start to sense and feel there's the frequency in the room that's starting to raise. And start to feel that the body starts to feel warmer. And a calm starts to move through your entire being. I'm going to just chant the mantra to connect to the goddess. Om Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Shakti Rupani Samsitha Namastasye 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 Namo Namaha. We now connect to the great feminine energy, consciousness of Mother Earth, the mind of the goddess. We are here to be at your service. We are here to receive and to co-create with love. We are open to receiving your wisdom and your guidance in this meditation. Please show us the way. As I start to say this, you're going to start to sense and feel that all the muscles in your body begin to relax. As I play the drums, you're going to start to sense that there is a doorway in the center of the flower in your heart. And this doorway starts to open up. And as it starts to open up, you start to walk into the doorway. You start to step into the deeper depths of your heart, because there are various chambers in your heart center. And these different chambers are energetic doorways and channels to connect you to different sacred dimensions of the self. Listening to the drum and starting to imagine you're going into a journey of the heart. It's through the heart that you will connect to the heart of Mother Earth. Ooh. As you've entered this chamber of your heart, the depth of your heart, simultaneously you see that there is a cord, a pillar that connects the center of your heart down through the center of your body, down through your tailbone, all the way into Mother Earth. There is a brilliant pillar that now connects your heart to the center of the earth. And you are able to move your awareness and consciousness up and down this stream, this cord. You're going to, in the space of the chamber of your heart, imagine that you are in a room. It is a garden of your heart. And you can smell the fragrance of the flowers, the luminous sun, the healing space, the breeze in the air. It's your sanctuary space. Observe the chambers of your heart and notice in the sacred room of your heart, what is there? What does it look like? For some, you may see beautiful marble chairs, food, animals, fountains, water, stained glass. The frequency of your heart is beginning to reveal to you through images and symbols a sacred sanctuary space. As you walk into this room and you are exploring this space, you're going to find a very comfortable seat. The seat is calling you. You make your way there and you sit on the seat. As you sit on the seat, there is another seat that appears before you. Observe the way that this second seat looks. The colors, the texture, the ornaments. As you find your grounding in your own seat, from that pillar that connects the earth to your heart, and that pillar is going to bring up a beautiful presence of Mother Earth. And so she starts to come up that pillar of light, this beautiful love energy. She comes all the way up, and then she appears before you. You may sense the mind of the goddess like a feeling, a warmth in the room. You may see the presence of the goddess, the greater goddess, as a visual of a beautiful feminine presence in her gown, or you may sense in your body the presence of the goddess that's come from the earth, an electrical sensation, an opening sensation. Just take a moment and allow yourself to really relate and let the earth consciousness reveal to you how you see her and how you feel her. As you're doing this, you just simply invite her to sit on this seat in front of you. There's no right or wrong way to do this. As she sits in front of you, your first invitation is to enter peace. Peace. Your second invitation is to feel your heart opening. No blocks in this moment. No barriers, no resistance. Receive all the love that you can. As your heart starts to open, your breath starts to become more open and free. Your third invitation is to receive. Receiving from this beautiful presence in front of you, the goddess, what she wants to offer you. Now that you have peace, love, and receiving, we're going to go through some questions to begin to help you link up to the space of creation. As you find a gesture to connect to the goddess, whether you're gently holding her hand, or she's giving you a hug, or you're just observing her eyes, feeling her warmth, take a moment and ask the question, if I could receive more of you, dear goddess, what would I feel more of in this moment? If I could receive more of you right now in this moment, dear goddess, what would I feel more of? And then go ahead and do that. Receive and feel. I would feel more faith that I'm not alone. I would be able to surrender more. Start to really allow for that feminine life force, goddess energy to just begin to transmit to you the feeling state of being connected to her. We'll take about a minute to do this. I'll be silent. You're going to allow for this process to happen internally for the next minute. If this is challenging, remember, come back to peace, love, and receiving. As you allow for your body to move into that frequency feeling state, manifestation starts from entering a frequency state, which is a feeling state. The second question we're going to really ask the goddess is, what are things that I can do in my life that allow me to be anchored in this feeling state? The feeling state that you're cultivating is yours. The actions you take are celebrations of that feeling state, your self-expression. What can I do, dear goddess? Actions that will help me to express this feeling state. Because when you're in a state of fear, when you're in a state of scarcity, when you're in a state of constriction, you make different decisions. Your actions reflect that limited feeling state. And then you complain about your life and you wonder why it's not going the way you want. But the mantra is, if you can do the actions that align with the frequency state you are cultivating by connecting to the inner goddess, then you're in alignment and life feels light and joyful, playful, abundant. So I'll be still for the next minute, and you're going to sense and feel through this transmission of this energy the visuals, the images, the sense that you're getting of things that you can do, whether it's action, affirmation, routines, decisions, life decisions, that can reflect this frequency state of the love, of the fullness, this goddess energy, the first question. So I'll be silent for the next 1 minute. So the wisdom arising is that it doesn't have to start like big things. It's the little things that you do in your day, like the morning routine, that can help you enter the state, the feeling state. It's the little things that you do to bring into your day that help you set that patterning, the patterning of doing actions that align with the emotional state you want to be in. We'll take about 5 more minutes here before we complete the meditation. I'm just going to tune in to see what else wants to come through here in this sacred space, the goddess energy, field of the goddess. The field of the goddess is entered from within first. And it also happens by starting to remove the conditionings about what it means to be a good person or a good girl, a good woman. Like you've got to uncondition that, because a lot of what we've been taught about what is a good woman or a good girl or a right person of society for us is actually a lot of restrictions, like living in the boxed way. And when we're living in a boxed way, there's a lot of repression and restriction of the feminine life force energy. When we allow for the Shakti, the goddess, to rise within us, it's a great force that doesn't play by other people's rules. So there has to be a freeing process of our feminine life force energy, and the archetype is the wild feminine energy, not the way we think. But the wild feminine energy, or the rebel feminine energy, is what's needed to have the right boundaries and to have the right freedom to let the force of the goddess to come through us. As we co-create and link up to the mind of the god, the goddess, and the god and the goddess both masculine and feminine, we are creating big things for ourselves, new patterns. And for others, it might look uncomfortable. They might not understand what's happening here. So as we take this moment to thank the divine feminine energy that's come into the space today, we thank ourselves for being here and receiving what we did. We now just allow for the goddess to, for you to know that the goddess is always here for you. But I'm going to have you just imagine that the goddess kind of goes back down that beautiful pillar of light. She goes back into the earth. She's always there with you. And you're going to imagine that you're standing up from your seat and you're sort of walking back to that beginning point of that room, the chamber of the heart. You turn around and you thank the sacred sanctuary you're in. You know that you can always go back. You start to walk out through the doorway. I'm going to count you down from 0 to 4. On the count of 4, you're going to leave that room. 3, bringing all of your consciousness and all of your awareness back into your body. Take a deep breath in. 2, feeling all of your consciousness back in this present moment, here and now. But sensing and feeling that you're taking that energy with you. Closing any open energy circuits. And 1, when you're ready, take your time to slowly come back into the here. Oh, into the now. Right. Welcome back, everybody, from the goddess transmission and meditation, linking up to the field of the goddess. You might be inspired to take your journal and make some notes of what came through energetically. You can also listen to this meditation again on our Instagram page. Now, we want to talk about something really powerful coming up. And I'm going to have Sarah introduce it. And what's coming up was led by the goddess. And it was a deep impulse that we both had to bring the flavor and the energy and the expression of the goddess in a retreat with women just outside of Toronto, so that we can learn to access what we just did right now through creative mediums and through a weekend of coming together, and really co-creating a powerful shift in our lives and a powerful space for women to come together and access the field of the goddess. So this is what we want to just mention briefly about for the next 10-15 minutes or so. So Sarah, take it away.
So I'm going to turn this down. Rameet mentioned we're going to be hosting a really beautiful 2-day retreat. It's located on Soul's Path, it's about an hour outside of Toronto, 15 minutes north of Oshawa, and it's on 58 acres. And there's like so many walking trails and just really serene property. And this time it's just beautiful with the leaves, and yeah, no matter what weather we get, it's going to be very beautiful. So I'll just read a bit so the Instagram family can hear what we're doing. So 2-day immersive art journey for the senses. Connect with the embodiment of the divine feminine within through therapeutic activities and intentional ceremony, connecting to your life force energy while basking in the natural beauty of 58 acres within an hour of Toronto. So it's such an honor for me to be weaving together our experience and insight. Yeah, how the goddess comes through us and what we're feeling will be really supportive at this time. So I love to use, as you do, a lot of different mediums and art practices to really shine light on our inner processes. Have this certain energetic that shows up in all these different areas of our life. So using our hands and our senses is a great way to, and a fun way to connect, right? Um,
Mm.
so I have a little breakdown here. We'll go to the next one. So, like I said, Soul's Path Retreat. So it's uh, a little bit about them, so you can kind of connect with the energy of the land. Is they're like a wellness haven, offering a place for inner peace and personal growth. So they do a lot of programs, retreats. They have budgeting, holistic healing. Um, yeah, and they actually have animals as well. Really beautiful. So there's an opportunity to connect with animals, um, and yeah, just connect and um, have that stillness to really focus on ourselves.
I had to say
It's a
something.
form of self for sure.
I got to say something. How I just about the land, like how powerful it is. A year ago, I went to Soul's Path for some concert in the evening, showed up there, didn't know why I was there. Concert wasn't even good, left early. When I landed there, I bumped into the owner and I said, hey, this is a cool retreat center. I want to do a retreat one day. She goes, okay, well, let's have a tour. I did a tour. Came back home, couldn't find a co-facilitator, forgot the idea, continued to travel. Traveled for about 6 more months or so. Came back, literally, I think, 6 months ago, connected to Sarah at a beautiful another retreat somewhere else. I think 2 months ago, 3 months ago.
Yeah, July 22nd.
All of a sudden, we're doing a retreat together. Like it was just like I don't know how the conversation happened. It happened so quickly. I'm like, cool, Sarah, let's do a retreat together. I said, where do you stay? Soul's Path. I'm like, Soul's Path was the retreat center that I went to check out accidentally that was about a year ago. By the way, when I first went to Soul's Path Retreat Center, I had this clear intuition come through about doing a retreat here. I actually had taken notes. So that was another part. When I landed on that land, I actually was taking notes last year about doing a retreat. And now you're telling me that you're literally there on the Soul's Path. This is where you hold the space. So I was like, okay, I'm not looking at any other retreat center, not looking anywhere else. This is where I have to do it. No ifs and buts. This is clear direction. So now it's happening there. I haven't looked anywhere else for a retreat, like for a shot. This is this place.
So
Anyway,
beautiful. I love it when it's like so clear and you're just, this is happening. And how beautiful has it been, the flow. So much gratitude for that alignment.
yes, but can you share? I had to just talk about the land was so powerful.
It is very powerful. It's on the soul's path for sure. um, yeah, so okay. So I wanted to go through a little bit of just like what the schedule roughly will kind of look like. So on Saturday, so it's coming up really soon, which is amazing. And we have a few spaces left. Bird ends on Monday, right? Monday the 13th. So yeah, we'll go through it a little bit. If you guys have any questions after, let us know. I know there's a few women who are here that have already signed up, so I'm so, so, so excited to connect with you. It's going to be so beautiful. So just on this Saturday, we're inviting everyone to arrive around 9:30 in the morning. So that'll be integration, a time to really connect with the environment and connect with each other. Um, and we'll have some, tea and snacks upon arrival just to welcome you all. Um, and then we'll start with the opening ceremony and intention ceremony. Sorry, an opening circle and intention ceremony. Um, and that'll probably be an hour or two before we have lunch. And then we'll do our first workshop is the chakra balancing and crystal mala creations. So we won't go too in depth of what each workshop is, but just so you get what we're offering. And so there'll be opportunity as well to connect with the land, to go for a walk, see the animals, and there's a grandfather tree as well, and it's a really old cedar tree, and he's just so, so beautiful. So there's lots of opportunity to get some healing from the beautiful tree. Give as well. I think it's so important, that reciprocity with our trees. So, and then we have, after the nature break, we're going to do a spiritual and intuitive art therapy, which is a beautiful blindfolded experience. I'm really excited for that. Followed by dinner, and we'll have a bit more time to connect. And by that, it'll be some sound healing, sound journey, fire ceremony as well. So that's kind of what the plan is for Saturday. Um, with lots of time to integrate as well. Like, we really highly recommend bringing a journal just to really be able to, connect with what's coming up and taking your time. So, okay, and then we're going to go to Sunday, the flow of Sunday, where I'm really excited for this, the Gentle Goddess Yoga practice with Dr. Rameet. So that'll be, the early morning. We'll have, a light breakfast available for the early risers. But breakfast will start afterwards as well. And then we have our dance with creation, the art and laws of manifestation, followed by lunch. And the lunch is kind of like a brunch lunch, a nice feast, followed by crafting our goddess crafting with crystal and goddess energy to create our divination tool, which I could talk for hours about. So, and then followed by break and snacks, and then our closing circle, our ceremony. So weaving our art story and closing circle. So that usually it'll end around 4:35. So so do you have anything to add for me to the overall schedule and activities planned?
Mm.
Before we go on?
Well, that sounds pretty full. That's a pretty good overview of the retreat, and you could take away a lot of beautiful things as memories, a lot of crafts you get to take away, take home, and we also, within this beautiful art goddess retreat, Sarah mentioned there's a lot of ceremony, and I bring in, I weave in the aspect of psychology and clearing energetic blocks and working with the subconscious and working with these yogic formulas with art, with creation. So it's such a holistic approach to mind, body, soul healing. This art goddess retreat. I just wanted to say that.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you for that.
So we are about, for the retreat, we're about 70% full so far. And we just actually released the retreat. Was it last week? Was it 2 weeks? Last week, right? Just within a week, it filled up. I know we didn't give ourselves that much time. It's okay. But within 1 week, it filled up to 70%. So if you're wanting to join this retreat, we have a website. And art has been something that's been a big part of my inner awakening. It's something that I still do. And I started to get more into art when I started to connect more into love and more into the decision that I want to tap into abundance and tap into freedom. And so much healing comes through. So I really feel very happy to be able to co-create all of this